curious about all things paranormal? Well, you're in for a treat. Every week we dig up the top 3 craziest stories right from our Facebook group.
That's right. So grab yourself a drink, relax, and get ready to dive into the supernatural with us. Welcome to Weekly Paranormal Picks, Episode 6?
Episode 6, dude.
Episode 6.
But before we dive on in to our first submission, let's take a quick look back at some of the highlights from last week's content.
Hi, Leanne.
Hi,
From
Leanne.
Australia. So in our recent episodes of Beyond the Hub podcast, we delved into astrology and paranormal connections. In episode 1, we discussed how your astrological sign might connect you to the paranormal world. And in episode 2, we discussed where astrology meets witchcraft, alchemy, and spirituality. And in our final episode, we discussed the science and speculation of astrology's role in modern paranormal studies.
Okay, now that's out of the way, thank you all for tuning into Beyond the Hub podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Brandon. We're excited to have you join us for today's 30-minute live stream.
Let's jump into our first pick of the day. And if anyone's got some other stories they want to share, please share.
What do we got here this week?
All right, hold on. We'll pull it up.
Ooh.
137.3K members. Just want to point that out right now.
Up another 1,000.
Another 1,000 every week. This one is from Jessica Amy Williams, right? Okay. I thought this picture was really interesting. This is a photo I took of my little girl. Last year, she was sat watching TV and did not move, although the light on her toy was flashing. This is not debunked, and it's not altered at all. It's the original, if you wish to call it that. I don't know what's worse, her face has gone transparent or the faces by her back and ear area.
What the heck?
Okay. Now, what do y'all think about this?
I'm gonna be honest. I think this might just be a
Distorted, yeah.
technology error for this one, but nonetheless, that is weird.
But why is it transparent? Like, why can you still see behind the image, though? I don't know it could be motion blur, but I'm curious on this.
That's the first thing I thought of, like motion blur.
See, motion blur. That's all. Someone definitely creepy. It's a camera issue.
wait! I want to read that.
What is it?
The camera issue one. It's a camera issue. If her face blipped out in real life off camera, then I'd be concerned. I think I would be extremely concerned if my son's face just blipped out in front of my eyes. That's crazy.
So many skeptics here. We have it still here, but let's go look at more of these comments.
I don't think this one is honestly that the paranormal-y. Like,
the fact that the baby's head is transparent with the background still seen makes me, really confusing. Looks to me like the erase feature on the phone editing on the phone was used.
I believe this is from software. A lot of phones now take multiple photos in quick succession and then tries to combine the photos to get the best image. It especially happens when trying to make HDR photos. The child did move as evidenced by the motion blur in various parts of the bottle and body. I think that's a very thorough breakdown there of explaining the technicality. That toddler is part predator. Well, I think she's got some explaining to do to her partner, her husband, or
I mean, that's
boyfriend.
why I picked this photo, because I want to hear everyone's opinion on it. I mean, like, not everything we're gonna find on here is paranormal.
Right.
So it was just definitely a little curious here.
It is weird, especially also because like some of her child's hair is there.
I wonder if they have been experiencing any other paranormal activity.
They could be. That could be what prompted her to post this, to share the picture.
But there's a face by the back. She said,
yeah,
right?
That's what I was just about to bring up. She said there's transparent, or the faces by her back and ear area. I don't see other faces in it. It just looks like.
You think? Oh wait, is that what they're trying to say? Like, is that an eye or something?
Like a cat hiding underneath something?
Look at me.
No, I don't really think so.
I think that's just part of the blur.
Yeah.
to be honest.
I think my personal opinion on this one is that this one just technology acting weird.
That's yep. I'm gonna agree with you on that one. Let's what does everyone else think? Leanne, what do you think? While we pull up our next topic. Okay, here. This one was cool.
Okay, so we got a submission from Sally Sleep. She says this photo was taken 10 years ago this year. Real quick, Leanne says that she believes it was a technology mess up as well. So that seems to be the verdict from the people watching today. My daughter had a little sleepover for her birthday. The two friends she invited are with her on the sofa along with her younger brother. We had previously been very aware of the spirit of a little boy who had connected with us as a family. Lots of interaction, especially with the children and myself. When we looked back on the photos from my daughter's party, it took my breath away to see that we seemed to have actually caught him on camera. Don't get me wrong, this photo totally freaked me out at first. To see the little boy who had tried to make his presence known so much was very unnerving. But we feel privileged to have experienced and witnessed what many aren't able to. We all still fondly and openly talk about our experiences with him. He was precious. Is that a mirror?
Yeah. So this is the full photo. So it's like you can see everyone in the photo frame. She's got the cake. What is that?
That one is creepy.
Yeah, what is that?
This one I would rule as paranormal for sure.
Because she obviously, if she's angled this way, that means it's standing right next to her. You think she'd be able to see that, right?
Well, the kids would be able to see it.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Hey, who's this guy?"
But she did mention in the story that they all her whole family know of the little boy.
Yeah.
So I find that particularly interesting, though, that if they all know the little boy, and they've all interacted with it, or him, that he's being picked up in the camera. I'm assuming that's a mirror. That looks like a reflect. Yeah, that's a reflection. That's a mirror. Being picked up in the camera, and none of the people there are noticing him. So previously he's made his presence known, but this time he chose not to.
Yeah.
But in the form of, I'll reveal myself on a photo.
That one got me thinking that just all the evidence in here. We got the family, we got them. I mean, especially they say it is a little boy. That looks like a little boy. That doesn't look like anything else.
It does look like a little boy. But I bet when they turn around, it turns into this giant meatball spaghetti monster.
Spaghetti monster, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
We're going back to that again? It may be the spaghetti monster. Let's see what the comments say. Love seeing that. Oh, wow, that's super creepy. Yep.
I think I would shit a brick. Kristen Boyer, I think it's cool. I have spirits that live in my closet. They're like family. I've been here in this house for 13 years. It's my bedroom that's mostly haunted. It's surprising I can actually sleep in my bedroom. Check this out. And then doesn't proceed to.
Oh, no, he got some right here.
Oh, right there. Oh.
Oh.
That's a shadow.
Yeah.
I wonder. Or is she pointing out that the closet door is open?
That looks like a cat perched up right there.
Kinda.
I don't know. We don't know the actual.
What are the replies on that one?
Geez, you are brave.
I wonder if in their reality it's a room, not just a closet.
The closet is open behind me. That's where it says open by itself too, which is creepy. And the courage to sleep there. Yeah, I don't think I'd be sleeping there. But all right, let's go back to this. All right, this is awesome. He's stuck and he shouldn't be. As cool as it sounds to someone, I think it's not, because every spirit should go on to the next rebirth or to another plane of existence and not be stuck. Yeah. Oh, Sally replied. Make sure it's on the screen. We did look into how to help move him on. Unfortunately, we were advised that by doing so, we could risk bringing a much more sinister entity into our home. As awful as it may sound, I was willing to take that risk for the sake of my family. I was unwilling to take that
I'm
risk.
curious as to how helping this move on would welcome a more sinister entity.
Maybe it's the same thing, kind of like opening up or like using a Ouija board. Oh, you're opening yourself up to. You open yourself up to one communication. You're opening up to everything.
Mm.
Maybe that's what they're trying to
My
rationalize.
my initial theory is that you know how there's the thought that when these ghosts and spirits are presenting themselves as children, that it's not always in good faith.
Yeah.
That it could be to let your guard down, and you could be more welcoming to it, and those spirits may not necessarily truly be spirits of little children. What if the potential of them trying to help the child move on turns out it's not a child who's stuck there, it's a malevolent entity that is like, I'm gonna get you or whatever, and just mess with you, let your guard down, and then he'll strike whenever, or it will strike whenever it decides to strike, and you're trying to help this what you think is a boy move on, and in reality you're pushing it out, and it doesn't like that because it wasn't ready to move on from trying to mess with you. That's where I think about that, because I mean, I'm not saying it's not a little boy, but it could be both. It could be either. But I don't
know.
I don't see how doing something in good faith, trying to help, if it was like, why would that bring? The only other thing I could think of is how you mentioned the Ouija board. You're opening a communication channel. But I mean, a communications channel is already open. If you're acknowledging this little boy,
documenting it,
yeah, I feel like the channel's already opened. So I don't know, man.
Imagine being stuck in limbo. Wish you will find a way out to reunite with his mom and dad. I hope it actually is a little. Well, I don't hope it is, but for their sake, I hope it is just a little boy, not something more sinister.
Me as well.
Something zoomed in here. Let's see this.
I zoomed in as far as I could, trying to debunk it. Looks like a little boy that just wants to join the party. You see the face shadow, like the eye socket shadow, like the general nose structure, the mouth,
hair, and everything. Yeah,
you see everything.
It looks like an alien with a wig.
Roger, what are you doing?
Does it not look like, if you just like squint your eyes, this kind of looks like an elongated head.
It does.
And then like,
you gotta really look for it. You gotta look for it though.
That's a spaghetti monster.
That's the spaghetti monster. See,
no, I'm just all right, let's go to our final one. What do you guys think about that one? Leanne says that's a ghost before, though.
And it's in black and white.
Yeah.
Which is also interesting because the picture's color.
Yeah.
That's a very good observation, Leanne. Oh, we got an anonymous post.
Yeah, we got anonymous. This is a long one.
Okay. Is it ready? It's up on the screen?
Yep.
All right. So a couple of questions to the group. First time to post here. Just a warning, long post, but looking for thoughts.
Hold on a second.
/ answers.
We're back.
What did you do?
I clicked off.
Did you break it?
No, I didn't break it.
Oh, we're fixed?
Yeah, here you go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So this anonymous participant is looking for thoughts and answers. So those of you tuning into the live stream, feel free to comment with your potential answers and your thoughts. So number 1, in 2001, my husband and I bought our first home. The home built in a neighborhood in 97. 1897 or 1997?
1897.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Before kids. My husband was on a business trip, and I came home and smelled an unknown cologne. I immediately called my mom and asked her to stay on the phone with me while I checked the house. I found nothing. Well, maybe your husband got a new cologne, and he sprayed it before he left for the business trip.
Maybe.
Okay. My husband was on another business trip, and my mom has spent the night with me. I got up for work. I was in the bathroom getting ready and heard a fingernail-like noise on the... Ugh, that gives me chills already. Like, nails on a chalkboard, just reading it. I was in the bathroom getting ready and heard a fingernail-like noise on the bathroom door scrape across the width of the door, even over the grooves. I thought my mom was trying to scare me, so I quickly opened the door. She was still in bed. I closed the door and looked down at my cat. Her eyes were widely dilated and her hair was
No.
standing up on her back. I was not crazy. She had heard it too. Okay, so there we go. Portal Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our kitty cats. I'm glad you got yourself a Portal Guardian.
I know.
Laying in bed with my husband, I feel two fingers together tap the outside of my right foot 3 times. Tap, tap, tap. It wakes me up, and I immediately look around without getting out of bed. I see nothing. I lay back down, returning to my left side, laying position, and once again, tap, tap, tap. Okay, that's... I gotta say something. I'm gonna finish reading the before kids parts before I add this. Another night, my husband and I were both drifting off to sleep, and I hear knock, 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 either on our head or footboard of our bed. I lay there without moving, and a few seconds later, my husband's head raises up. He asked, "What was that?" I was so happy he finally believed me. So this is before kids. I just want to add, last night, apparently, something tapped my wife and woke her up in the middle of the, well, like 3, she said it was like 3:16 in the morning. And she asked me if I woke her up, and I'm like, no, I was sleeping. And she's like, well, something tapped me and woke me up.
It's interesting that I picked this story and then that
That is
happens.
interesting. That is interesting.
It was me.
Oh,
That was over
you're
there.
the one who knocks.
Yeah.
Apparently. I see.
That was over there.
Yeah, so I don't know.
No, that's weird.
She said, she asked me, like, after we woke up for the day. It's not like she woke me up in the middle of the night and asked me. She asked me when we were up and about for the day. It was probably like 8 o'clock in the morning after breakfast. She's like, so did you wake up last night at all? I'm like, other than when my son woke up, no. She's like, oh, okay. Well, something woke me up. And I'm like, what? What do you mean something? She's like, well, if it wasn't you, then it was something.
Bruh.
And I'm like, you didn't just wake up? She's like, no, something touched me and woke me up. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. So now I have to go, what's it called? Flea bomb my house because ghost fleas are touching her.
Ghost fleas are touching her?
I don't know. Yeah,
Could be.
that's just interesting and weird that
Yeah.
that happened last night, and this is one of the posts that we are discussing on our live stream tonight. All right, so anything to say about the before kids part before we carry on?
No, it's just the threes. Everything's in threes. That's always
That's a good. Yep.
a sign of something not too good.
Yeah, it's mocking the Holy
Yeah.
Trinity, right? Yeah. So, 3 taps, 3 knocks. Those 3 taps. Wait, what was the scratching? Just door scrape. That wasn't 3 times. That was just scratching. Okay.
Democratic
What?
or demonic? Leanne? I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say anything.
I see what you're saying because I thought you were just saying random
No.
words and I agreed with those random words.
I'm not gonna say anything. But let's go to after kids. Let me
All
take
right.
this one.
Sure.
I was holding our first baby, walking from our bedroom through the den to the kitchen. Our baby was sorry, autospell. Our baby was on my left hip, and our TV cabinet were on the right, and my husband was on the couch approximately 10 feet away from me on the left. I was about 1 foot away from my TV cabinet. As my son and I passed by, I heard a sliding motion sound behind me and a thud on my left near my husband. I immediately turned my head to my husband, whose eyes were about to pop out of his head, and see a glass candle holder at his feet. I asked, did that just fly across the room? He answered, yes.
Whoa. Things picked up after the kids.
After the kids.
Already. So it started with just like mocking.
Yeah. Our first child, when he was 2, would talk about a girl named Jamie. Ew. We did not know anyone named Jamie. One day he looked at me with a serious, sad face and said, "You know Jamie, Mom? She was my age when she died. She died in a fire." Yeah.
Okay, that's creepy.
Yeah.
I swear, if any spirits out there are talking to my kid, I'm gonna mess them up.
You gonna mess him up?
I'm gonna mess them up. Yeah, I'm gonna be like 1-2 punch.
Leanne, it's all right. We're just joking with you. So now we have, I get this? The kitchen chair?
The kitchen chair.
The kitchen
Yep.
chair moved by itself about 10 to 12 inches in a diagonal pattern when I was sitting at the table doing bills. The chair was diagonal across the table, across from me at the table. Jeez.
Okay. So I can imagine, let's just say it's a four-seater table.
Yeah.
She's sitting on one corner. The opposite corner is where the chair moved from. Probably away from her to get that diagonal line. Okay.
So now we have 3 kids total, and the kid's nanny one day says, "Hey, can I talk to you about something?" "Sure," I replied. She then said, "Something is in one of the kids' bedrooms," and she went on about what she felt and saw, and asked me if she could ask it to leave. So now it was summer 2011. I was at work and get a 911 page from my husband. I call and he says in a panicked voice, "Get home, our house is on fire." What? A fire had started in the attic above our first child's bedroom. Everyone made it out safely, thank God, but we were told that if it would have happened at night, it would have been devastating because our smoke alarms did not go off.
Whoa.
And when we moved back in, nothing out of the ordinary ever happened again, but we moved out shortly after. Thoughts? And then from an early young age, I've always been drawn to old houses, mainly the older white farmhouses that stand alone in large fields. What could this mean?
Well, first, the thoughts on the weird
thoughts.
poltergeist activity that started from weird paranormal things. I think that it is extremely strange that one of her kids said about the other kid that died in a fire, and then their house catches fire. That's really weird. I mean, it's not like both things mean that they're related. Both things happening mean that they're related, but I mean,
Died in a
weird.
fire. A fire mysteriously starts.
Yeah,
Maybe something was looking out for them.
could
A
be.
different spirit maybe looking out for them that they
could
weren't.
be. Yeah.
Always change your change your smoke detectors right now, everyone. Change them. I got to do mine later. Maybe that's a sign.
That's a good idea. Now you got me paranoid. But apparently they moved back into the house and nothing ever happened again.
Mm-hmm.
But then they moved out shortly after. So
And that was just it. And that was the culminating event.
that's interesting.
Maybe it needed to repeat itself in order to go on.
That'd be freaking weird. But like, okay, wait, I can't. No, this is weird. If poltergeist activity is spiritual entities moving physical objects in the real world,
Mm-hmm.
but I was gonna say like maybe they can't influence a fire, but if they could throw a candle holder
they can
across the room, they could
physically
literally
interact.
do that to make a
Yeah.
fire, like knock it into the blinds and
Turn the
like,
gas on.
Yeah, that's maybe they needed. Yeah, maybe they needed to do that to close the loop or something.
What is drawn to the old houses? I think that's
I think that just might be personally. I just think that's preference. Like I think you just might have an attraction to those things. Like I've always been drawn to. When I was younger, I was always drawn to reptiles and dinosaurs and lizards and snakes. What the heck is that?
Hmm?
You hear the sound?
Yes, the fire.
Oh, gotcha.
And that's weird. We're talking about a fire, and then there's
Yeah.
a
Way out there, but it's we hear it. So
that's weird.
like I was saying, I've been drawn to like dragons, dinosaurs, lizards, especially dragons. I love dragons, and that's just my personal preference. I just thought they were cool. So like maybe from an early age you thought they were cool, but it could be something more. But that's what I think of it as.
How many times have we been doing this, and the fire house never went off? But the second we're talking about a story about a fire, the firehouse alarm goes off
That's weird.
down the road.
That is weird because I mean I've heard it before here, but not while we were live
Yeah.
talking about anything related. That's what makes that weird.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe the if you believe in past lives, maybe that could be a reason right there.
That's an interesting thought.
But as a young child, 3 to 5 years old, I had a reoccurring dream. I was wandering around in a dark hallway, all brown wood, of an unknown house to me. On my left was a staircase that had a turn in it. I was always told not to go up there. Each dream I would get a little further up the stairs. Then finally I made it all the way up the stairs without anyone catching me. The stairs led to a beautiful attic-like room with many different angle roof and stained glass windows, all lit with a floor filled with cream-colored candles and a pathway in the middle of the room. It was absolutely beautiful, and I never had the dream again. Any thoughts?
I think that it's also weird that the attic of your house caught fire, and I mean, she didn't specify the source of the fire,
Mhm.
but the attic of the house caught fire, and your recurring dream when you were a child is stairs up to an attic with a bunch of candles
Mhm.
that make a pathway in the middle of the room. I mean, that also sounds very ritualistic.
Wait, they said it was a. Did they say it was a kid that was affecting this or no? Did they believe it was a child or something or no? Did I read that wrong, or is that a different one?
No. Her kid talked to. First child was 2. When he was 2, he talked to a girl named Jamie. We did not know anyone named Jamie.
She says she was young though, right?
She was my age when she died. She died in a fire. The 2-year-old.
So what if she was the reincarnated? She was 3 to 5. She's having these dreams about this or whatever. I don't know. I'm spitballing here.
That's.
She is this little girl. It happened the
extremely
exact same time.
Well, I personally don't believe in reincarnation being a thing at
Yeah.
all. So I mean, I'm not going to tell people they can't believe in it, but I just don't think. I think it's quite silly personally. And I'm not trying to insult anyone. I just don't understand how. What would be the criteria to go up or down in whatever caste system this reincarnation system operates in, and what's required to finally escape the cycle of this reincarnation system and live peacefully in the afterlife. I think it's too arbitrary, personally.
The only thing I
and
can see is
also,
like a lesson being learned, maybe.
okay, if you need to learn a lesson, but you're reincarnated and you have no knowledge of your past life, and you only get maybe a vague little feeling of, this is weird. I wonder why I feel this way. And that's the closest you're ever going to get. Then you're never going to learn the lesson. Because in order to learn a lesson, you have to analyze information and then be like, oh, yeah, I won't do that again. Or, oh, I see. That's why this happens this way.
I think that's why we get a little deja vu.
I think deja vu is...
Maybe that's the...
I think it's premonitions. I think
Could be
deja vu is
that.
premonitions. More leaning, more aligned with like psychic connections with spirituality and the universe and stuff. But like, just for example, if you, what is it, is it Buddhism that goes reincarnation up and down the caste system? Or
I don't want to say yes, but I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Don't quote me on specifics. I just remember learning about it in high school. And you can go up or down, and you can be reincarnated into like a tick. Let's say you lived a terrible life, and you're gonna go get reincarnated into a tick. Okay, you're reincarnated into a tick. Why a tick? Why not a cockroach? Why not a worm? You know, I don't get that. And then on top of it, how are you supposed to be able to be a good tick? Like, how do you go? Well, you lived your tick life very, very morally. Now you get to go back to being a human and you get another chance. Like, I just don't understand that. I can't wrap my head around that. Hopefully I'm not offending anybody. I'm just expressing my views, my opinions about how I can't understand that. If somebody can understand that, sure, share it with me, please.
But
well, is that wrapping it up? It's about time.
I think it's about that
All right.
time.
All right,
the
folks.
old dusty trail.
That's going to bring us to the end of our 30-minute live stream tonight.
But don't worry, the conversation doesn't end here. You can join us on YouTube Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we'll discuss our next topic of the week, and it's going to be another good one.
And tune in right after this live stream on YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for next weekly Mystery Corner video. And until next time, be sure to also check out our most recent episodes. Don't forget, stay curious and keep seeking the truth.
We'll see you all live next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So keep the conversation going in the comments. Tag us in your posts for a chance to be featured. Stay tuned for more Beyond the Hub podcast. We'll see you soon. See you, Leanne.
Take care, everyone. Bye, Leanne.